I saw it, and I was testing it on mine too. I mean, even when I'm here, I'm going to run it here while I'm talking again.
Yeah, let's see yours,
And
Steve.
so I'm transmitting 9. I'm running at 79.5 down. There dropped there went to 80, 81, and my upload speed is buffer. There it goes. It's running at about 7.5, about 7.25, 7.5.
So you went to Google, right? The Google.com and
Yes,
tried
yes.
the blue thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to speedtest.net, check that out. It's a pure
No.
lie.
Oh, I've got them all. In fact, I've got a custom one that runs through.
Look at my.
our
Let me show you
provider.
my upload speed, okay? And it's true lie. You see my desktop, right?
Something else I can do is change my channel too, to a less busy channel.
What are you talking about, channel?
Internet channel. I can change the channel to a less
No,
busy channel.
change has nothing to do with that. You know wireless. Are you wireless?
Are you wireless?
I am right now.
Oh, you want to hardwire that up?
Yeah. Oh no, never go wireless with a stream. That is one of the biggest problem right there.
That was my question that I was just going to ask.
Yeah.
I used to design networks for schools, and
I
I know all about fiber optics and distances and what you have to have.
Yeah, but I told James about it, not to go that way. With this connected.
Yeah. Can you run a hardwired cable fairly easy, James?
Yeah, I got to get around to it
Yeah.
because I'm out in the garage and it's in another room.
Let me show you my upload speed. Right. 1 second. Are you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 1 second. If I go to speed test, right?
You're going Ocala or whatever that is.
Yeah. Now speedtest.net. Look at my upload speed. Right?
Yeah.
Normally, I get like 1,000 in here. Okay? Normally.
300, 400, 330.
Yeah. See that? Upload.
Yeah, you start at 10.
But look what is it? 27. Right?
Oh, you've got a 330 plan.
There, I have a gigabit plan, up and down, right?
Well, I can tell you right now by those results, you're being throttled back to a 330 plan, and that's common for everywhere in the United States.
It fluctuates between 1,000 and 1,000 here. Okay,
Steve, he's paying for a gigabyte plan.
See what I'm saying? And because
now, are you on fiber or are you on cable?
I mean coax.
That's why. It depends on your neighbors.
But here's the thing. See this number? It's not true. If I go to Google, right, and I test it, this is where my stream is. Okay, it's half of it.
Half of it, yeah, half.
Right,
yeah.
And the upload sometimes is 1,000. Look at this. This is a good day. It's 6, 7.
Man.
Look at that.
That's terrible.
This is why you never go to speedtest.net. This is why if I test this again, it fluctuates between 6, 2, and 3, and 1. See 5, 6. It fluctuates. See, look at this. This is download. Look, it's not even 100 anymore. The download. Look at the upload.
Jesus, that's bad, man.
Look at this. 2. This is actually see that. Look at this, my upload speed. And I'm paying for a giga. This is supposed to be 1,000. Look, it's not even 2.
Steve, what the hell can he do about that?
Call his internet provider.
Change it. There's a monopoly here. They can't change it. There's only one company.
Well, I know, but you can still call it. Let me show you what I'm running here. I'm going to share this if I can bring it up.
Yeah.
There we go.
Share your desktop. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see that?
111 by 8. Yeah.
There we go. And I'm only running and I'm talking right now, I've got 110 plan right now because they're just going to push ours up to being able to go gigabit.
That's what I've got, 110 plan.
And that's what I'm running right now.
You guys have a better internet than I do.
Well, one thing, what happened here is we had unfortunately, we had a garage fire here 2 years ago. So everything coming into the house as far as utilities on the side of the house, all the electrical, the cable, telephone, everything coming in.
It all burned.
Everything was melted. So everything had to be replaced. So one thing I did is I made sure we used quad shield to every single location, and everything is a separate run from the outside edge of the garage to every single room, and to my office I have 2 runs, one to where the modem is, so it's a straight one to the modem, and then connecting to the router, and then I have another one within the room that if this was ever turned back into a bedroom, it's going to have connections for a TV, because the one for the modem is actually inside my wardrobe closet. So I have it over here, just over here, and power's in there and everything. And then inside there, I've got my UPS systems and everything backing up. That's in case of a power failure. And then right underneath my desk here, I have UPS systems backing up the computer and laptop that I have here.
Oh, so at least your internet got better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened is I called the tech guy came to come here to my house, right?
Uh-huh.
And I told them, listen. Yeah, okay. We're gonna go. I'm gonna finish soon. Okay. No, you're gonna eat food now. It's my boy here. Hey, stop doing that. Okay. So come over here, boy. Come over here and say hi.
No.
See?
I want you to get me.
I'm not giving you junk.
Now.
No, he has junk food before he eat his food because it's 1 o'clock now. So
how old is he?
7. Come here. I'm not gonna buy you a bicycle if you eat junk. No bicycle. So what happened at
bribery works every time, right?
If you eat junk, I'm not buying you a bicycle, period. I'm serious. We're gonna eat food now. Okay. So what happened? The tech guy came here, about 7 of them, right? And I told them exactly the same thing. I'm paying for a gigabit down, gigabit up. The problem is not with my house. It's not with my cables, right? The problem is with your server, okay? Oh, you go back to where the internet connect to your server, open the pipe, okay? And it's pure scam what you guys do. What they do is this. They sell you a package, right? Your house is capable of, my house is capable of uploading about 500 gig up, 500 megabits up, right? The problem is that they put a filter on the server. So when 6 months later, they can provide another service like, or if you pay $300, we can give you 50 megabits up or something like that. So they sell you package. You already have a good internet connection, right? And while they do that, they share your lines with the other people in the same neighbor. If a neighbor is watching a 4K TV, a video on 4K at the same time that you're doing upload videos, your internet goes down the drain.
It's the bandwidth that's being fed out. No, I'm familiar with that. Bandwidth. I know for Jim, I'm real familiar with it because we did all the testing and bringing everything in, and that's one of the things I knew when having to put our house back together. As I brought everything back in here. So all the telephone lines all have Cat 6 coming in. So if I'm just using it for a regular telephone line, I've got still Cat 6 cable running to every jack. And like I say, RG6 quad shield coax going to every single room. So the lag that I used to have before with the exact same service to what I have now is tremendous, because when the house was built, it had RG59U. And if you're familiar with cable, it's like having a pencil diameter versus now the size of, well, it's about that big in diameter on the RG6 quad shield. Because of the shielding on it, you're not losing, and it's keeping that signal running straight through the cable, and it's not radiating out.
Yeah. So the problem is that in the United States, right, it's a monopoly all over the place, monopoly, and this is how they do it. Here in Arizona, they have monopoly, right? Phoenix, I stay in Phoenix, in Scottsdale, in Phoenix, right? I stay most of the time in Phoenix. In Phoenix, there is a monopoly called Cox Company. They're the only one.
That's what we have, and that's all we have here.
Yeah,
same
Cox,
thing.
Yeah, Cox is the only company here, right? But if I go to Scottsdale, I have all the companies that give you, because Scottsdale is one of the, I think, one of the best cities to live in the United States. Everything is updated, have the best school in the United States. Just Scottsdale, walking distance, right? It's different. Where movie stars lives is what movie star comes to live. That's what I'm saying. So they have the best system. Everything is Scottsdale. But when you drive a little bit to Phoenix, 6 million people in Phoenix, right? And they have a monopoly with Cox, one company, to deliver the internet for 6 million people.
Yeah.
So the system is horrible. See what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Cox here for where I'm at in Dana Point, which is in Orange County. We're the southern part of Orange County. They cover all of Orange County.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the same amount of population.
Yeah.
And there's no competition. Now, up in Los Angeles, for what I pay here, if you were up there, because crossover, Jim, I don't know what happened to your screen. All I do is see Nay's screen out there.
Taking a nap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if he doesn't talk, he doesn't switch. Like.
But yeah, they. Cox is going fiber to us here. They're bringing it in.
Yeah. So what happened with Steve? His OBS, Steve OBS is set up to automatic share his OBS on Hangout. So whatever his stream is what people on Hangout call sees it.
I've got Spectrum here. That used to be Time Warner. That used to be Bright House.
Yeah.
It's all one system.
It all sucks.
Yeah.
I had all those companies when I used to live in Florida.
It's all the same company. You know that. They just buy the company.
Yeah.
Time Warner Cable.
Yeah.
Scott, question for you. Where are you located?
Nay.
No.
Scott's in the chat.
Phoenix and Scottsdale in California.
Scott Fisher. Oh. Scott does internet help himself. He's got his own channel.
Yeah.
For YouTube help.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we were just showing Scott. We were just showing our download speeds.
Asking about your studio, OBS studio, video quality and everything.
I know, but we were just discussing our download speeds and the problems with them. See, Nay's got Interactive DNA has gigabyte service, and he just showed us he's not even getting 80 down and what was it, 6 up?
Up is about 2 megabits.
Well, that's because he's running on coax, and when you've got a coax flowing across your neighborhood there, the more people that you have on, you got to remember right now, today's Saturday, and like for Nay and I, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Kids are home, people are watching TV. I don't know how the weather is there for you today, Nay, but it's cloudy sunshine here, so people are home. They've got they're streaming TV or they're streaming. Kids are streaming videos, and it's just going to slow that whole entire network for his neighborhood down.
Yep. Why he's doing that?
Now my best is 4.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, James.
Yeah.
Never go do that. Get out of there. Don't use Hangout to search for browser. One thing I forgot to tell you.
No, I was just showing the desktop.
Yeah, nah. You showing the desktop?
Yeah, and you have to leave that open if you want to access your browser.
Let me see. Let me show you something that you did something wrong in there, okay? Go back to your OBS.
Yeah.
Okay, don't do that again. Don't do that on the Sky. Don't do that on. Don't share your desktop on Hangout. Make sense?
Okay, why?
You just don't do it because it's not supposed to do it. Okay. From now on, don't do it. If you want to share your desktop, you have a desktop number 12 on OBS.
Right.
Click on number 12.
All right. Well, I shut
now
that down.
You can open any browser, anything. Go open your browser.
Right. I still have to go back up to here to get to the browser.
Click on that. That's how you do it. Do not share thing, because what happened, you cut us out of the screens.
Oh.
And people don't see it. So right there, right? And now people can see that big at home. They don't see in the little screen. Make sense? See, look.
You can see that right now?
Yeah.
Okay. See, now it just, like a second ago, it was at 4. So it's changing constantly.
Yeah. Can you remember that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Do not share your screen anymore in Hangout. Because like I said, if you share your screen in Hangout, right?
Yeah.
If you want to share your screen, go to the desktop icon that we created, right?
Right.
This is it. You don't want to replace our video with the desktop because it's going to be a small screen. Okay? And people cannot see anything. Right?
All right.
See, and YouTube, I see that big and everything. That's good. All right, guys, you set though. You're good. You're good to go now.
It looks clean what I'm seeing coming through, and well, it looks like it froze up again on YouTube.
Yeah, his upload speed.
It keeps changing. Yeah.
Yeah. The solution for you is very simple, James.
Yeah.
You go to, where is your near, what called Home Depot?
Yeah.
You get a big cable cutter.
Right.
And go around your neighbor.
Only one problem with that, Nate. Most of them, including his, as you know, with ours, when we had our garage fire here in 2016, I had an AT&T for the telephone, which was a landline. Cox Systems that have telephone. The moment that fire melted the line and took out a service that was over here, actually it was long before that. This is back in, say, 2010. There was a fire on a pole, and it took out the system. Cox was at the pole within 1 hour. They knew specifically which systems were down, the address and everything, and the affected area of it. They know exactly where it's at. So Cunningham would be working only for maybe about an hour, 2 on the outside. Maybe Jim could get his broadcast in real quick and then bail.
Okay.
So we're sharing with everybody, and as you can hear across the street, they're building houses here left and right.
Yeah. Or another solution, you have some Italian background, right?
Irish.
call your brothers, right?
Yeah.
You know, and you go to every house and you say, "Get got to 5, let me in," right? You walk
Right,
in
right, right.
and see, these are all my brothers, right? And you
Who?
say, between this hour and that hour, do not use your phone, not use the internet or anything. Or
Or you could go out to each person's box and put a filter on board, which will throttle them back, which will allow more bandwidth upstream.
yeah, there you go.
That'd be cool. Now Scott says fiber is fiber to the home. You don't have to. You don't get slower service when others are on it.
Yeah. Well, even the fiber, if it's to the home, they're not actually. Most of them are not bringing the actual fiber into the home.
Yeah.
They're bringing coax at that point.
Yep.
So in other words, I don't know where you're at. It's either underground to the pole box, or like for us, we're in an older section of town. Ours are overhead.
Yeah, I'm up
They're
on
bringing-
wires too.
They bring the fiber up to the pole, and then what happens from there to your home, they're just giving you coax.
There is one thing that's going to change all that. Okay, called
5G.
it calls 5G. Okay, what 5G will do, right? 5G will eliminate cable, fiber optics, everything. And the reason why is this. People don't understand about 5G technology, but I do. And the way 5G...
I know it, Nay.
Yeah. Oh, so you do,
all
so you
too
understand.
well.
Yeah, that's good. So for the people that don't understand what 5G is I think you know, because I know that, I think you understand that, but a lot of people don't know out there, right? So what
I know.
technology is a bunch of technology working together. One is going to increase your download and upload speed, but the most important thing about 5G is not the internet speed or upload speed. The most important thing of 5G is the latency communication between software and hardware. And what that means is this. It's going to change everything from now on, 5G, from TVs, phones, computers. It's going to change everything because everything is going to have internet connected. And the reason why is 5G is important is because I can create an application on the server, and my application communicates only to your television, nothing else. So I'm saying it's like a special highway between you and the server. Makes sense? That today's internet, 4G and regular internet, is a traffic, horrible traffic. People using the internet, uploads not good, and so on. With 5G, will allow me to create an application, a device, put on the server. And if, for instance, like say I'm designing a drone, autonomous drone, right? With 5G, allow me to put a software on my server, and I can communicate straight to a drone, nothing else, in real time with a latency of 0.001. It's like almost real time. I can go send back and forth, so I can make the drone fly faster, longer, more stable. So I'm saying, and in real time with no latency. Makes sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what? Because of that, you're gonna see water bottles. You're gonna see medication communicate through the internet in real time. So you pick it up your medication, your medication is gonna tell your phone or something to say, you already took the medication. The bottle is going to tell how many capsule is in it. See what I'm saying? It's going to tell everything. Even it's going to know if it's a child is touching the bottle.
Wow.
Because of the 5G technology in next version. People don't understand. They think 5G is about speed. It has nothing to do with speed. It has to do with the data communicating with the hardware.
Tony viewed this. What's
in
up,
real
buddy?
time.
That's so invasive, though.
It is, but it's the future. It's the present right now.
It's splitting up the bandwidth and giving you your own specific thread between point A and point B.
Yeah, and the technology
I just want to welcome Hello View Disc came on.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's Tony.
So the technologies that are implemented on 5G are something like this. They call something like can I say, there's a technology that when you communicate to the internet, make a phone call or send an email, it goes to how to say antenna that's going to be all over the city. The antenna will have a special software that will look at the traffic and say you don't belong here, you belong on this cell, and reflects you to another. It's like a traffic control, and then does a, and it has duplex. Duplex is means if I'm calling you, and when I call on you, and if you call me back, we're not going to the same signal. The signal is splits, and there's two different highway. It's like thinking about a freeway, right? On the early days, you only had one line, right? On 5G, it's like you have like 100 lines to drive your car, and only 2 cars is driving on the road.
Well,
so you have you're driving
when
the
it's
freeway.
coming to our house, how do we utilize it?
Now you don't have it. Some cities they have already in Los Angeles, Texas, and some phones comes with 5G, but the software is not yet implemented. The only testing right now, they upload download speed, right? But there is no application yet. Nobody has designed applications to get the benefit of 5G. The first thing they have to change the towers, the cells, to have the 5G, because what's the point? In fact,
They've got existing cell towers they can use.
Yeah, they have to replace a lot of them.
No, those cell towers have to be completely all retrofitted.
Yep.
It's all new hardware, 100% new hardware.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be years, and you can thank China because they're the ones that have it.
Oh, Hawaii.
They're the ones they're the ones that are going to be putting it out on to the telephone networks, to LG, to you name the provider, Apple, everybody else. Once it goes, it's going to be that technology.
Yep. 5G. Look, 5G.
So that's not going to be satellite. It's going to be cell tower.
It's a mix of everything. 5G is a mix of everything. Let me tell you what 5G technology is.
You just did, man.
Yeah, but let me explain to you the technology that built 5G. It has a technology called millimeter waves. You have called small cells.
Hey, micros.
MIO, beaming, forming, and full duplex. You have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and more technology working together. See what I'm saying?
Is he right,
the
Steve?
Waves. Make sense what I'm saying?
It does. 5G. I don't know. Steve would know better than I would.
Yeah, 5G has all those technologies implemented to make things too. Like millimeter wave is like a short band between 300 or 3,000, a different frequency that you don't use today. See what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like a different frequency. But for that frequency, it's not good to travel through walls. So you need little cell towers to send the signal to the outside. See what I'm saying?
So we're going to have the same problems with cell phones in the house not getting signals because you're in a concrete bunker?
Yes. If you are in there, you got to have a cell. You have to have a 5G cell implemented. Otherwise, it's not going to work. See what I'm saying?
That's how it is now, because my downstairs is all concrete.
Yeah.
I have to use AT&T microcell.
Yeah, 5G, you need a special cells that you're going to put in your house all over in the room, right?
Right.
And then that was because the frequency is very low, so to give the lower latency, right? And then you call small cell. Small cell is the little towers that's going to be one in your house, in your room, in your garage, in the city, all over the city, called small cells, right? And then have the massive MIMO, right?
MIMO, so multiple in, multiple out.
Yeah. So, and then you have beaming, performing. It's like sending you the signal two different frequencies in cell towers. So I'm saying, and you have full duplex. That means a traffic can go in one highway and come back and not stop
At
because
the
the
same
other.
time, right?
It's like having a train, one line of train, the other train is coming towards you, and suddenly another train line appears, and you don't stop. You keep going. You call full duplex. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So you have those technology and more. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'll be a lot more than duplex, because we can have duplex now with fiber, and what's going to happen with the 5G? Jim, I don't know how familiar.
No,
you're
no.
on you're on your router, okay?
Right.
Do you have a dual band or tri-band router?
I've got a tri-band router.
Okay, it means you've got two 5G outputs. Well, not 5G, 5 gigahertz, and one 2.4.
Right.
You'll notice if you're on your 5 gigahertz, you'll be able to move away from your router, and as you move away, the signal will get weaker and weaker very quickly. Versus if you were on the 2.4, because it's 900 megahertz.
Yes.
That stuff will go through walls and penetrate it through just like nothing.
But the FCC won't let them.
The faster you go, the weaker the signal is in order to travel in distance and penetrate through walls.
Yeah, but 5G works in a 300 megahertz go through wall at all. It's not like the people get confused between Wi-Fi 5 gig, 5G. That's me. People say, I have Wi-Fi, and you have a mirror. If you point a laser to a mirror, and it reflects back and forth until you get to the room. Otherwise, the frequency will not work.
Jim, you said you had a microcell, right?
Yeah, the AT&T microcell.
It'll be more or less just like that. It'll be a small little guy that you'll plug in, and you'll have to hook up to your internet, and you just run it around, and you'll drop these around the house. And what will be working is what people don't realize. Let's just say you have one or two of these, the hardware, when 5G does eventually come out.
Right.
And Mike, you don't need do we need 5G? We don't need it now because there's nothing out there.
To use it.
They're faking saying that they're 5G compatible on the phones, but there's nothing out there that's 5G. But when that goes through, you got to remember, and this is the part that has me worried, is that unit will be used by the network system for everybody else. So it's just not your traffic that's going to be going across. Other people's traffic are going to be picking up and going across on that network off those little microcells.
How do you keep encrypted?
That's where the problem's going to be. Where all the companies in China that are producing this stuff going, oh no, we're safe, we're okay.
Yeah. Well, the problem with the United States, Trump did the right thing with 5G, right? They know he hired somebody smart to understand the technology, right? The first thing is to block that company to build 5G technology. The problem with 5G, another country building it, extremely dangerous. And the president did the right thing to block the company.
Spying on us 100%.
Yep. They can't create anything in real time in 5G.
You're spot on, man.
Yep. He did the exactly right thing. And people don't understand, but it's what is 5G. 5G, think about what people don't understand what 5G is.
It's real time.
Computer. Do you know the internet, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest invention, right?
Yes.
5G is bigger than the internet, and people don't understand it yet. So I said the first thing was the computer. Amazing what the computer does. And then they came up with the internet, huge, right? 5G, imagine 5G is bringing the technology, internet, to another level that people don't understand what that is yet.
Yeah, they don't understand because they don't have it and can't use it.
Yeah, but it's coming. You like or not. See what I'm saying?
Hey, Dennis. Nacho rolling.
Yeah. Hi,
Okay.
Dennis.
When's it coming? And it can't come until they solve the
It's
encryption
coming
problem.
already in California and things. They're writing the software. It takes time to write software. It's not
It,
overnight.
Wait.
it's up. It's all up in Silicon Valley.
I
You
thought
know?
you told me, Steve, that it's not encrypted yet.
It it's the point. It will have encryption, but people will have ways to bust around it.
Yeah, it's nothing's encrypted today. If it's digital, it's screwed.
It has got a long ways to go. All the telephone manufacturers, of course, are spreading their, shall we say, fake news. Oh yeah, 5G's around the corner. It's not just around the corner. It's going to be in very limited areas as they test it, because it's just like anything else. You don't build something and then all of a sudden just put it out. They've learned their lesson across the telephone industry and the cellular network industries that they've done that in the past. So what happens? It falls flat on its face. And when you're talking this type of technology, it's you can't even comprehend it, is the best way to explain it, what it'll be able to do. And where they're putting it in is all up in the big boy plants. So it's all up in the Silicon Valley area where you've got Google, you've got Twitter, you've got Facebook. Why? Social media.
Why? That's the push for it, is social media?
Oh, the trillions of dollars are going to come out of that so they can have it out there. They're going to take control.
Yeah, 5G is going to use a frequency between like 600 megahertz to 6 gigahertz.
That's huge.
Between that frequency. You understand? It depends on the application. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Most of the public is going to be using between like 300, 400, depending on the application. Some application the government will not allow to. So I'm saying of the
So,
gigahertz.
in other words, even if this came out, let's say in 2 years from now, I still wouldn't want to get it.
You have to. There is no other way around. Other way you will not be able to drive, not be able to eat food. You have to. Otherwise, you have to go to a farm and eat. You'd be what called Amish.
Yeah.
There's no other way around. You can't escape 5G. It's like say, I cannot go to a dentist anymore. I cannot go to a doctor anymore. You have to. Otherwise, you die. 5G.
This really feels like China, man. It really feels like everything we do will be spied on.
Look, you already are. You already are. Everything that you do in the internet, there's a clone of it. So I'm saying everything you do it.
Our own surveillance here in the States are doing it. Everything that you say, I'm saying, what Nay's saying, what Mike and Dennis are typing, it is sitting on a server already.
Yeah.
It's sitting there.
Yeah. So the 5G that most of the people is gonna use is gonna be a frequency between 2.5 to 4.2 gigahertz, around that for the applications. But they're lower, even lower hertz to do more things in real time and so on. So it depends on the frequency. So I'm saying it depends on the application.
Each item will be assigned a frequency.
Yeah, it depends on the software, on the hardware. Depends on the application. So I'm saying.
Right.
It depends on the application.
I mean, they got a Alexa and Google whatever home things that are sitting there listening to every word you're saying now anyway.
So they don't, because I don't have it in my house.
I don't have it either.
In Europe, the frequency of 5G is going to be around 3,400 to 3,800. In the United States, it's 3,700 to 42 megahertz. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what you're telling me is, even though I don't have a Google Alexa, if we have 5G, it's the same thing as everything spying on me.
The phones, everything's going to turn into 5G. Do you like it or not?
No, I don't like.
Yeah, don't like, but you can't escape. So I'm saying that the thing is there are trillions of dollars out there, trillions of dollars investment on this technology because they're going to make even more.
How do they make more money?
Because they're selling everything. For instance, if you're going to buy your medication in the grocery store, right?
Yeah.
And then you pick it up, your bottle says, this is not for you. The bottle that you hold and have your pills on it is going to communicate with the doctor. You will know As soon as you touch, you understand your fingerprints and everything. It says, this doesn't belong to you. And it locks it, the system.
That's scary, man.
You know, you go to, for instance, you go to an airport, right? It knows right away who you are. So I'm saying you're gonna buy
Facial recognition.
Yeah, they've been testing that out for years.
Yeah,
Oh
for
no,
instance,
it's unbelievable. Because coming from the field that I was in, I did low voltage, so we did fire alarm installations, security, CCTV. You go to the main security conventions in Las Vegas. We got a chance to go through the Bellagio and go behind the scenes to their security. And it was a limited number of groups, and you had to sign up before you were even allowed in the place, because we found out there's a couple of people that showed up, they didn't bother reading their email, that they were rejected for going on the tour. And you want to see what it'll do when it comes in. I mean, in the old days, because living so close to Las Vegas, I had friends and family that they would go there, you know, and it would be facial recognition was, oh, well, hello, Mr. Smith, how are you? Long time no see. You know, and they'd have everybody knowing who their big high rollers were. Now, the moment that person walks in the door, they know exactly who you are. They know everything about you, what you've done, how long you've been there for, and they know a whole background. And it's following you and tracking you everywhere in the casino. So the people that are over there, you hear about how the cameras are looking down onto the table.
Right.
And they're on there. Bam! The moment you pull a chip or anything like that, that software recognition already has done that. Not a person, but it's done that, and it rings it up and it alarms, and the person goes after it, and then that camera is tracking that person as they go to leave the table. It's following them all the way, and that one monitor is nothing but following that person all the way through the casino.
Yeah, you're right. It's
automatically.
Yep. Another thing that people understand about, because people understand how that 5G is going to work, right? Is like I say, for instance, they call different frequencies, like have low frequency, high frequency, and called millimeter wave, right? The lower frequency, like it's between 700 megahertz, for instance.
Millimeter,
right?
or microwave?
They call millimeter.
Okay.
Meter wave cells, right? Right? For instance, the low frequency cells, right, is around 700 megahertz. That is for like large events, like thousands of users and so on, right? And could be an autonomous car, all this kind of thing, real time, right? And they have the high frequency, right, between 3 to 4 gigahertz. That will be environment monitoring, smart cities, right? And then you call millimeter wave cells, right? It's about 26 gigahertz, right?
Yeah.
And that what it is, it's going to be transportation, residential, like connections, smart energy. So they have different types of 5G. So I'm saying
my home electric meter already reports back to the main station.
It's going to be even real time. So that one it runs on 26 gigahertz. That's what I'm saying. They call the meter waves. That's what I'm saying.
I hear you.
So there are different things. For a lot of people, they're gonna use the lower frequency, right? If you want an event like in a show, right?
Yeah.
And then they have the high frequencies in the city, like a drone. Like if you have a drone, if you want to have a drone fly across the United States and use a high frequency, right? This is why it's going to change the industry of drones, because you'll be able to watch 4K in real time with a drone. That's what I'm saying.
How far away is this crap?
How far, like when we're going to have it?
Yeah, how many years?
Probably in 1 or 2.
Yeah,
I'm already designing applications for 5G. You know when I start my application for 5G? 8 years ago. I'll build an artificial intelligence that's running right now in a company for what is it? Close to 7 years already, right? It's based on 5G technology. It never crashed. It never needed to reboot or anything. It dynamic. It's an AI that I built. It runs on 5G technology that I built. I built it probably 8 years ago, and I implemented on the business about 6 years ago, and been running 24/7, 365 days a year, a day, and never crash. Doesn't need a human to touch it because I needed a lower frequency. This is what I'm telling you. I've been doing a lot of live streams, right? Talking about 5G, how it's going to change the drone industry, FPV industry. You'll be able to fly in real time, 4K video on your goggles. Right now, it's an analog video, crap video. That's what I'm saying. It's
One
going
of the things you got to also look at, guys, is in the medical field. Right now, they do robotic surgery. In other words, you have a surgeon across the United States doing a surgery that's a general type of surgery, but it's specialized. That goes on today.
Yeah,
and that's where they're going. What's going to happen with this 5G? You're going to have, you could have a brain surgeon, because it will be so precise and so accurate across the world, doing an operation on somebody robotically in an operating room anywhere in the world.
Yeah. In real time, the thing is, because of 5G, we're allowed to create applications in real time. It's not about the internet speed. It's about how fast you can communicate between hardware and software. The applications that I built was .001 milliseconds, right? Because I'm dealing with video technology, right? Have to be in real time. 5G is exactly the same. So when I want something, it have to be in real time. Everything is available. So I'm building an autonomous drone that can take off, automatic, deliver 4K video, everything that I needed, right? In real time. So I don't have to touch the drone. The drone comes back and land it, charge it, and take off. It sees somebody, it tracks it, follow, and now it come back and land it. Automatic. You don't touch it. You don't need to touch anything. Autonomous, 100%. Yeah. So I'm saying it's because of 5G technology. Without it, I can't do that because of the delay. The drone will crash, will not, so I'm saying?
Yeah.
You will change everything. Because of 5G, you don't need satellite information. You don't need GPS because you can put a software on the cloud. The way it works is like this, guys. How the 5G is going to work? The way it works is this. Let's say in a drone, if I build an application to the drone, I build a decoder on the drone, put in a flight controller. The flight controller is nothing. The brain is going to be on the server, on my server. So the server sends a signal to the dummy flight controller. The flight controller had a decoder in real time that tells the ESCs what to do, the camera what to do. And the camera sees it, right? The information. Let's say if I put a 1080p camera with 60 frames per second, beautiful image quality. It sends in real time to the server. The server decodes that information, so I'm saying, and sends back to the goggle. So I'm saying in real time, zero latency, basically, in real time. So I'm saying,
yeah.
So all the brain is done on the server. For instance, the first one to implement it for the public is Google, called Arcadia. It's a video platform, streaming platform for video games. So that means you'll be able to play 60 frames per second, 1080p video, 4K video in real time on your devices. And you can play almost on any device that will support 5G. So I'm saying what that does is this. The server do the rendering 3D graphics on the Google server. It only streams a video to your phone. So I'm saying just like what we're doing right now with YouTube. So when you're controlling your things with your controller remote, you're sending real-time data to the server. The servers get that information, the input from the radio or the remote control, and sends back a video that's already pre-encoded, rendered in real time of the game back to the phone. Makes sense?
Right. Well, we can do that with drones now. We can send them off autonomous.
Those are all garbage.
We can send them in autonomous programs to go do their work and come back home.
Garbage.
And then then you take care of the software. I mean,
5G is a different thing. There's garbage.
I know.
There's the delay.
I know. Everything's garbage. I'm just telling you what can be done now.
No, it's different technology from what it does.
I
What
Well,
it
you
does,
know, you know what Nea, Jim, and
what I'm saying,
everybody in chat. I just want to say hi out there to Mike and Dennis again. One of the things that Nea is trying to get across to how this technology is going to evolve. The reason why it's happening up in Silicon Valley is a couple of things. Besides social network, and which is data communications for all these companies, everybody on the internet, is this is how you're going to have drone delivery. This is going to control everything. So those microcells are going to be all over the place, and the control of the drone, it's going to be able to fly for Amazon, delivering your brand new ND filters for your new Phantom 1000X drone that'll be out there. That drone is going to be controlled by this network out there. And that's the other big push when I'm saying why the technology is coming there. Because like towns like Mountain View, where Google's at, people don't realize that whole town is wireless. They pay for nothing. They pay for no internet. You can sit outside on a park bench and have 110 download everywhere out there. You could go over there, Jim, sit down on a park bench and open up your laptop and have that speed free of charge.
Yeah. So 5G, basically what it is, basically the brain is on the server. Hardware, computers, see what I'm saying? Hardware, anything, televisions, phones, everything is going to be skinnier, lighter, and cheaper, because there's not going to have processors there anymore. The only processor is going to have in there is to decode a video or decode some data. All the brain is on the server. What 5G is, you have a supercomputer on the cloud that tells the hardware what to do. Is what it is. So I'm saying nothing has done this before on real time. Only the army.
Yeah, but you're taking away a certain amount of my autonomy. You know, and my security and all of that.
No, you're actually going to be even more secure.
Well, Steve was just talking like they haven't solved the encryption problems yet.
Yeah, you're going to be more secure because you have more devices that they can tell you what's going on. So I'm saying you're going to have.
It'll be more secure, but it will not stop. It will be more open for the people that are, quote unquote, surveilling you.
Yeah, but that is always the case with humans. That is what I'm saying. So you're going to be more secure because you're going to have more technology to protect you. That's the difference.
That's what I need, more protection, right?
Oh, yeah, because we'll be able.
When the government is saying it's protecting me, you're really screwing me behind my back.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about, all the technology that can help you. See what I'm saying? Save your life and everything. Right before you have a heart attack, a device, your shirt, what you're wearing, is going to call the ambulance and says you are having a heart attack. See what I'm saying? It's going to save life, 5G.
They have that now.
See what I'm saying?
I mean, just like this right now, I'm a diabetic, and this is what they call a CGM. It's a constant glucose monitor. Yeah. It's monitoring my body sugar level, not blood sugar. Yeah. Body sugar level, because it's a sensor that's injected in just under the skin, and it's a wireless transmitter. This unit right here, I can share this information with family, friends, and straight to the doctor if I want to.
Yeah, but with 5G,
it's here now.
Yeah, but with 5G, it takes that little bulky thing and implement it where? On your glasses, implement it on your shirt, that you don't even, you can wash the shirt, do everything. Just like buy a socks, put it on, you don't even know there is 5G technology in there. There's the difference. So I'm saying you're going to be wearing things. With 5G will allow you to hide technology. And you think that you're wearing the shoes, even your toothbrush, even the things that you eat, you'll be able to have technology in there that will do things to you, alarm you. See what I'm saying?
Well, so, even now, the smart refrigerators, they've been testing like with milk and bottles and other items like that. There are RFID chips on the packaging that when it comes down, it can tell you saying, "Hey, it's time to reorder,"
Yeah. So
and send you a signal.
Yeah. So 5G, basically what it is this. 5G
Yeah.
is the next, how say, is the next transition of digital era, because we are just entering on the digital era, right? So 5G is like, let's say 5G is the next evolution of communication system. See what I'm saying? And it's going to have multiple versions after that. But 5G is what's going to open up to design autonomous car cheaper. It's going to create medication. You're going to save people's life before you have a disease. Your shirt, your glass, what you eat, whatever things, is going to tell your doctor. He's going to call the 911 before you even call. You call, so I'm saying, even before you have a heart attack or whatever it is, the technology will know, will detect, because it's done in milliseconds. There is no delay, so I'm saying. And because of that, you're going to have supercomputer on the server checking you. So I'm saying, like, let's say, instead of the Apple Watch, iPhone, that's going to be obsolete. You don't need none of that. So I'm saying, what 5G is going to allow, you're going to have what I call a contact lens that you can put in your eyes. You'll be able to watch 8K video quality in a contact lens. So I'm saying, so it will allow you to do a lot of amazing things because of 5G. See, it's taking you to the next level in so many ways. So I'm saying is in a way that people don't understand. Majority of people don't understand what it is. It's like you going to the cave age and showing them a drone. You're flying a drone. They will think that you are God, right? So 5G, what it allowed you is to build applications and software that communicates in real time. That's what I'm saying. And what that do, you open endless applications for everything you think in life. It's what it is. In real time. It will change everything we know. The way we drive, the way we go to DMVs. So DMV sucks.
For those people that worried about Big Brother watching them, this is their dream come true.
They're already watching them.
You know what it's going to be? It's on its way to be going just like the movie, The Matrix.
Steve, are you for that?
Me, no, but it will eventually get there, in a form of that. No, I'm not for it. I mean, I like to have my privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we've given that up with technology, and I mean, I'm the oldest one here, and I mean, I remember our first computer at our high school that we had. It was given to us by a company called TRW, Thomas Randall Williams. It's a space. It was a space but technology testing company here in the city of San Clemente, out up against Camp Pendleton, which is the biggest Marine Corps base, or biggest base actually in the United States.
Yeah, it's huge.
And where their testing labs were out there, I got a chance to see a lot of stuff that even to this date I can't talk about. Even though it's out there, it's available, because we have non-disclosures we all had to sign working out there.
Look,
and when you're seeing stuff, and I'm talking back in the 70s, when the lunar rover was being tested out there before it ever went to the moon, the rockets were tested there, the engines for the lander, then getting into high-tech lasers at its time. And when you're going through and you're seeing all this different stuff, and I grew up, like I'm saying, and I'm talking in the 70s. Well, here we are in 2019, and what has gone through now, it's just like everything here is being recorded. You're in a smart TV, which I have 2 in the house. They can, if there are mics, which most of them have mics and you don't even know it.
Yeah,
they're
do.
on there.
The
If
remotes have
cameras,
them too.
They have capability of turning those cameras on. Your telephone can be completely off, and they can turn it on and they can trip it. What can be done now for surveillance is leaps and bounds beyond what people realize, and they're just, I should say, naive to it.
Yep.
Because there's a difference of being ignorant and stupid. Ignorant, you don't know or you haven't learned. Stupid is you know it and you're not doing anything about it, to me.
All right.
But,
well, what happens to the Medical Privacy Act, the Freedom of Information Act, all this nonsense? What happens to all that if you implement 5G?
James, what's going on is this. Do you know IBM computer, supercomputer, right?
Yeah.
They're integrating hospital right now, right? The future, I'm predicting the future. That's where it's heading, right? AI system is going to take over doctors because of the technology. In 20 years or less, you must be the extremest person, the most stupid person on earth to go to a doctor to see what's wrong with you. You'll be able, when you go to a doctor, right? You don't go to a doctor anymore. You go to a facility, and the facility scans you and tells you exactly what's wrong with you.
Star Trek.
It's just because the way it is. The reason why is this: IBM, Watson, right?
I need a tricoder from Dr. McCoy.
So what happened is this: the technology is going in a way that there's not going to have privacy anymore, right? And the problem is there's benefit in the good and bad, right? The good that they will know exactly what you have and give you the right medication, you get better. The problem is they know everything about you to the cell level. See what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the thing. And you can't escape from that.
Which changes your insurance. It's like having your DNA. They know that, okay, this guy had, back in his family, he had cancer, or they have a history of heart problems.
They'll know everything.
There's a whole kind of new segregation coming then.
Yeah. So basically what it is the way I see things.
You see how you blow by that? You just blew right by that, like it doesn't.
The way I work in technology in 1999, right? Some of them are classified, right? Some of the things that I can talk is like, for instance, I work with the technologies that for instance, when you watch a video on their television, basically, this is back in 1999. Basically, what you're watching, right? The system knows what you're watching. And for instance, if you're watching a basketball game in real time, it tells you, like, it sends you an email, it says, look, that ball that they're playing right now is for sale. Do you want to bet it? Do you want to buy it? Yeah. And if you look at somebody's clothes, it tells you the clothes that you're looking at it is this price at Amazon and so on. This is back in 1999. So I'm saying tracking system. So I'm saying basically what you see on the environment, everything. So even Samsung televisions was on trouble because Samsung was spying on people. So I'm saying they had to put this is why when you buy some cameras, you put a thing in front of it so they cannot see what the camera sees, right? So basically what you're going to see in 20 years or less is that when you go to a doctor, you don't go to a doctor anymore. You go to a facility, it scans you and says, this is what you have. And the way they're going to find out what you have is basically AI system that's going to start in milliseconds is going to tell, based on human history, all the disease related to what you have, and it's going to give you the best option because the AI system is going to deliver information basically on all doctor histories on Earth.
And we still can't cure the common cold, and you can't kill a virus like the flu.
Because you live in a capitalism world. If you cure certain things, that's what I'm saying, they're not going to sell medication.
Right.
That's what it is. If you come out with an engine that runs in water, it destroys the economy. That's what I'm saying. When I worked with the electrical car, did a presentation electrical car back in 1998, right? The government took all the electrical car and destroyed it.
The first electrical cars in 2004 by GM were all taken back and crushed. Every one of them.
I did a presentation in 1998 about electrical cars to CEOs, right?
Yep.
And I had to write on it, see it, I have to create the engine 3D, all this thing. I have to mimic the real deal to show to the CEOs back in 1998, right? And that thought said, if this car is on the street, it's going to destroy a lot of companies out there because the car doesn't need brake pads. It doesn't need a lot of parts. And the little small companies that make those parts will go bankruptcy. So the government have to control that. So I'm saying, if today they come out with a solution to cure diseases, economic collapses.
I do know that because I remember watching that them haul all the cars back from the owners in 2004 and destroying every single car.
If you go to my website,
And now we're coming out with electric cars all over again.
look at this. I can show you. Look, the electric car. Hold on. Let me show you that I work on it. Let me show you something.
Well, go
One
ahead,
second.
show me.
Well, while you're looking, I'm just going to bring it up here in the chat. Mike, you're right on. This is many of us give up our DNA freely these days with those family test kits. And guess what? It's all sitting in a database. Free of charge. You've just given that information out. Well, not free of charge. You paid for it, but they got the information free of charge.
Yeah, and you paid for it, and you sent it into their lab, right?
Yep. Oh, by the way, Mike was also saying when you said, we're talking about just a bit earlier. I don't know if you saw it in the chat. You said, Alexa, you just ordered 3 pizzas, and I just said to him, I says, well, we better go over there and help him eat it.
James, you don't try to use, like I said, when you don't share desktop, use the share number 12 on OBS.
I didn't know I was sharing a desktop.
Yeah, you're sharing the desktop. Don't share your desktop. Always go to you.
I was trying to look up that 2001 car, 2004 car I was talking about.
Don't share your desktop. Always use OBS to share things.
Let me say that one more time. I did not know I was sharing my desktop.
Now you do.
I didn't press any buttons to share my desktop.
Yeah.
So why was my desktop being shared? Are you
Because
guys?
you're sharing it.
Are you already breaking into me?
Huh?
You're already breaking into my systems.
Yeah, what happened when I hear?
Seriously, why did that go to my desktop?
Right here.
I wanted to look up that, I think it was 2001. GM made the car. It was before Prius and all that came about.
Yeah. Well, that's the point that's really funny is this is not being so much political. This is going into all the people that are out there that are against, carbon burning fossil fuel. But what they don't know is that an electric car actually uses more carbon units and recharging that car. If it's a coal-fired plant,
Right.
the amount of electricity used in order to create that electricity, in order to go charge that car, is emitting more pollution than it would be if you were burning a regular fossil fuel car.
But with the sheer number of cars, if we did trade over to, let's say, all electric cars, would that offset that or no?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Would the sheer number of cars being used, would it offset the damage from the CO2 coming from the plant, the power plant?
No, because it takes that much energy to do it if it's coming from a fossil burning plant. Until they can come up with other sources like nuclear,
Hydroelectric?
hydroelectric, wind, or more efficient solar, that's the only way it's going to happen.
Because we've got solar plants going up, solar farms they're calling them now, going up around us, and you see windmills all over. Wind turbines going up all over the place, all over the country. So still, that's a step in the right direction, or no?
It is, but until they can get a better form of energy of producing it that's not emitting all the
The CO2.
the emissions,
Yeah.
it's not going to work. Because I come from an electrical background and somewhat electronics, and I've worked on power plants. In fact, I worked on one of the been on two of them here on the West Coast. Worked on one, and when you see what's going on, if they would have just used the technology that's out today for actually nuclear plants, because you can use actually the waste radioactive cells that are out there now in order to power the new plants. So you're reusing what is something that's out there that's got to expend its energy over what, 2,000 years or
Yeah.
however many years it's going to be. You're actually using that for the new plants.
Yep.
And they're using that in other parts of the world.
Guys, I have to leave, but everything's good. That's what I'm saying. Thanks for stopping by. You can, stay talking with James. I gotta feed my boy, do some stuff. But like I say, you have a lot of information there. You understand pretty well about the technology. So people have to understand that technology is coming in the way. You can't escape it. This is it. You gotta embrace it. But anyway, your OBS is running perfect now, right?
Yeah.
So don't change any settings. Try to avoid using sharing desktop on Hangout. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I will share desktop in OBS, and you're good to go, man. James.
All right. Thanks, Nay.
All right. Take care, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Take care of you guys on the chat too. Thanks, Steve.
I
You
will.
been help.
Have a good day.
You have been help because you helped me to check it out, the stream and everything. Thank you.
No, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That studio's looking great.
Yeah, looks amazing. The picture. Take care, guys. See ya. Have a good day.
Take care, Nay. I'll talk to you later. I don't like any of this nonsense. You're touching a prescription bottle and it knows how many you've used and all that stuff. It's like what, fingerprint recognition coming in the form of a bottle?
Yeah. Well, to tell you how long back stuff has been around, and people don't realize this. I have. He was my uncle. He's since passed away. We didn't know. We knew he worked for Honeywell.
Right.
And he did a lot of work at the Pentagon. And later on, we found out he was working for an, I don't want to use the word, agency.
Right.
And little did we know, back during that time, my dad's side of the family were brilliant. I mean, every single one of them, there were 7 boys, and they were all almost like geniuses, brilliant people. I don't know what happened. I lost it somewhere. The genetics didn't get passed down. But he worked on the technology of where we're at today. Now, mind you, I'm talking the end of 1960s. They already had optical eye retina recognition for the most secure areas within the Pentagon down in the lower levels.
They were already using it?
They were using it. My uncle helped create it.
I know I worked for a company back in, I think it was 1980 or something, that designed or was making the night vision goggles way back then.
Uh-huh.
They actually were assembling all the lenses that gather the light to put them together.
Uh-huh. I mean, we've got so much stuff that has been around for a long, long period of time. And it takes time for it to evolve to where, one thing is good for technology. It's turning over at a faster and faster rate to where it's coming into the normal business use, or shall we say in the use, where all this stuff that's being used for high technology and the high tech systems, it's coming to us a lot sooner than it used to.
Yeah, well, they were saying that like processors and phones change every 2 years, which has kind of been the technology changes every 2 years. But
Oh,
now,
yeah.
now with this, I don't know. There's too many implications that come along with the 5G. Like I'll tell you, let me just give you one little story. There was this guy had an Alexa in his house. I don't know what exactly he said, but the story I saw on the news was that they took the recording off his Alexa and convicted him for planning a murder. Okay, maybe you stopped
Wow.
him. Maybe
I
you
hadn't
stopped
heard-
a murder.
I haven't
but
heard that.
yeah, yeah,
Well, that's where, NSA and what they call a FOIA application, being able to spy on an American citizen, they can turn on the smart TVs. They can turn on that Alexa. They can listen in. They can do it to your phone.
Now, right now, you have the ability to shut the microphone off on your TV. It's there for a search option.
And they can turn it right back on without you knowing it.
Is that right? Is that right?
And they can turn a camera on without you knowing it. Your phone can be off, and they can turn it on to where the microphone will work, and they can listen to everything that you say without you knowing it.
Where do you draw the line? There is no line then.
You don't use it.
Okay.
If you want to do it, there's a couple of good people that talked about living off the web and living off the net, they call it. And one of the things is you just go buy those throwaway phones, and then you buy, the chip for it,
Yeah.
and it's got the time in it. No credit cards, no nothing. You pay cash. You go ahead and you use that phone for a month, and you buy those chips, put it in, everything cash, and then you throw that phone away. Buy another phone. You still got the chip. It's got the time on it. You can put that thing in there and use it. And you just keep on doing it and living off the net to where there is, then no way of tracking you. But most of us, we got to sell you the plan.
Yeah.
They know who you are. They know where you live. And they don't even have to know where you live because they can track you wherever the phone's at.
Yeah, every phone has location. So quickly it can come up with your Google map of where you are and give you directions to where you're going.
Yep. Nay's saying practice your camera fix. So when you talk, the video is bigger.
Oh, like the back and forth like that.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, enough of that and you'll drive somebody crazy too.
Yeah. No, it's out there. The thing is you just got to be careful. You use some common sense. Technology's there for us to use, and to me, it's there for us to use and use to our benefit. And you use it for a benefit. Yes, there'll always be those people out there that will use it as in a negative way to harm people or do something. There's going to be the bad characters out there, and unfortunately, we have to deal with that.
I'm not even talking about them. I'm just on the basic level of insurance companies will know and raise your rates based on medical factors that, maybe your parents had, and things like that. When we get to the we know your DNA stage of life,
Well, even like when you're driving, you know how they say, well, you can do this now. You can put this little chip in there, and you can get a better rate because we'll know. If you have like OnStar or anything else in your car already, they can track that and already know what's going on.
whether you speed or not. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember when I bought my my 04 Chevy truck, I had OnStar on it.
Yeah.
And they gave me a prefix, which was way at the northern end of Los Angeles, and I lived down in Orange County, and I wanted a local prefix because this was before, we were still paying the minute
Oh,
and
yeah,
where
yeah.
you're dialing for. So it wasn't a long distance call, especially for my family that didn't have cell phones. The gal I was talking to, I said, hey, what is the chances of getting the telephone? I said, when this thing got registered, they put it on and just gave me this, out of a pocket number that's nowhere near where I live. And she goes, oh, Mr. Carpenter, we can take care of that for you. And at the time, I was in a town just up the road here called Aliso Viejo. She says, well, how are you doing? How's the weather there for you today, Aliso Viejo? At the corner of, and she told me exactly where I was at.
And that's my point. But not, who cares if they know where you are? I mean, if you're not a criminal, what do you really care? But that, knowing your basic information, which could perhaps, I don't know, down the line hurt your children.
Yeah.
You know?
Mike brought up a good point there. Alexa is always recording. If you go to the app to check one of the things you did, you can hear your voice of a couple of seconds before you say Alexa.
Wow, right?
Yeah, because it's always on. It's always listening.
That's why I never got any of those things. I'll never have any home controllers. My refrigerator will never talk to me.
Well, it was really funny. I was talking with Jim Hightower from Help at Home, and our oven went out. And I said, because he makes all those recipes, I said, well, it's going to be a while. I'm still waiting for the GE to find out if they've got these models available so I can get a replacement. And of course, the lower cost ones were never around, and I ended up getting this one, and it had an app, so I put the app on my smartphone and everything, and I linked it, and I had turned it on in order to do the burn off of, because of it being new, to get that smell and odor out of it.
Yeah.
And I preheated for 375 degrees and pushed it, and I walked away. And all of a sudden, in my office, my phone starts to vibrate and beep, and I look down, and it's telling me my oven is now preheated at 375 degrees.
That's just crazy. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they bought this house, and it's smaller than heck. And the house, before they bought it, the original owners passed away, so their family members came over and redid the interior and redid the bathroom and all that. And this young kid and his wife bought the place, and they're redoing the bathroom. I said it was just done. Yeah, but they did a sloppy job. That's what I need I need a perfectionist across the street.
Well,
yeah.
being in the construction trade, that was one of the things I watched over, because we hired, being an electrician, I could have done the work here, but I wasn't going to come up with a conflict of interest with my insurance company or anything else.
Right.
So hired everything else. Everything went done, and I paid for some upgrades that I wanted to be put back in. Like I said, like with the cabling and stuff like that. I didn't just want cheap cabling put back in. I wanted to make sure I was future-proofing my home at the same time.
Like buying a new product. You want to make sure it's going to be good for the future, yeah.
And so when I went through and we got out to start the process, they get this engineer, because there was no blueprints of this house. The house was a custom-built home that we lived in, and I've owned it for, I don't know how many years, 30-some years now. And when it was, they had to bring an engineer in. Well, they had to come through and actually physically tape and measure the whole entire thing and come up with a whole brand new set of blueprints. They send the blueprint, he takes down all these sketches, and I'm looking at what the engineer did here. I mean, it was perfect. I mean, his measurements, everything. room sizes, heights, everything, because it's 2-dimensional. It wasn't 3-dimensional.
Right.
And so they set it off, and we told them what we wanted to do and have certain things in, because we upgraded our master bathroom, which was at the time the smallest bathroom in the house.
Mine too.
When they built it, couldn't figure out why, but we were enlarging it. So they send me a set of drawings back to prove. Well, like I said, I've been in the construction trade my whole life. They brought the plans back, and this is the problem is people just don't, excuse my French, give a shit anymore. Everything is put it in, put it out, and send it. On any set of drawings, your site plan is your first page. They have it down there to where the front of the house
was facing
a garage and facing the street, so you're driving the garage. The whole site plan is 180 degrees around, and the garage is in the back. I tore those prints apart, and I said, you know what's going to happen? Where I live, I know the inspection process here. And they're going to reject this stuff up and ask, who in the hell did this? I mean, this is like below high school. And this is paying for an engineering department, company to do it.
Yeah.
Which has to be stamped. Because they're replacing the rafters because of the garage fire, new rafters and everything. That all had to come back up to code. And anything else attached to that had to come back up to code. But the rest of it was just removing drywall and then putting and sealing the studs up to what they call smoke shield all the wood.
Yes.
And then they put new drywall and insulation back up. And when they were done, I rejected those set of those drawings 3 times, and they came back for the 4th time. I still found some errors. I thought, no, this is perfect. We'll find a little bit of an error. So when it goes in hopefully they can do it over the counter, that they could turn it around. It'll give that inspector going, well, you need to correct this right here. Giving them something like you're giving them almost like a freebie. So they're turning it around. Looks like, they're doing a good job. They went in there and got those drawings approved in 1 hour. From the time they walked in, filled out all the paperwork, went in, waited his turn in line. They opened it up. They approved it on the spot, stamped it, and they didn't even correct what was wrong.
So the person even in the town giving out the permits in the inspection department didn't even know what the hell they were looking at. Nor did they care. No, but they send the inspectors around as the work continues around here. I'm sure you did. They did there too.
Because you have to have progressive inspections.
Did they spray your 2x4s or did they paint them? Did they paint it on?
Broadband signal just went to crap. If you can hear me, Jim, you've frozen up.
Yeah, it went red. Went totally red.
Yeah.
Did they, when they sealed your 2x4s, did they spray it on or was it painted on to seal the smoke smell?
Sprayed.
Okay.
Sprayed.
I've seen that a lot. I learned that a long time ago with smoke damaged houses. What the smoke damage what the smoke damage doesn't do, the fire department does.
Oh yeah. they kicked in our front door.
They'll rip the whole damn house apart, man.
I'll share a link with you. A neighbor recorded the fire department trying to break in. They were slamming the door and they kept on getting kicked back. It took them 15 minutes to come in through the front door.
I'll tell you something, you can't kick in my doors. My doors open out. They're steel doors and they open out.
Uh-huh.
No one, who would ever figure that out? They'd spend the day doing that. But
well, I had actually they're fiberglass, and they look like a wood grain finish.
Right. So they had to do
Jim,
we had a guy, he had a barbecue, and he put the barbecue outside his garage. Let's say the garage door, but it was enough under the eave under the soffit, so that the heat built up from him having the open barbecue. He walked in the house. He said he was gone 5 minutes, and I believe the guy, right? Why? What? You know. But it got up into the soffit somehow. I don't know what he was cooking. Maybe there was some sparks coming off. You know, when you cook pork, the fat goes up. But it burned. He had a single car garage. It burnt just that part of the garage. His house is down to studs now, and they are redoing the entire house.
Wow.
Because of the smoke damage. Yeah, the smoke damage goes up right into the attic and comes down into all the, you know, everything has to be sealed up. Sometimes you'll never get rid of that smoke. All right, my friend.
You got a couple of people that just came on, just to let you know.
Tim from Pleiadian UFO. You know that. You know Tim, right? He's building his own manned. His manned UFO. His manned UFO. His manned drone. They'll probably call it a UFO because it's going to be over 55 pounds.
Yeah, no kidding. And Rubster's 760.
I don't know him. Hello.
Neither do I, but he's got a cool opening scene on a billiard table here.
Oh, yeah? Gonna have to check him out?
Yeah, he's got a couple thousand subscribers.
He's saying, Steve, he must know you.
No, I don't know him.
That's cool.
He will know me now.
We'll have to check him out. All right, guys, we're going to end the stream. Thank you very much for coming. Man, that was a heck of a discussion on 5G.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Mikey Roche,
well, listen,
he's still there? Dennis? Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you very much, and glad to your studio looks good. I mean, the YouTube side is, gorgeous. Because I'm watching it right here. That's why you can see me looking sideways here all the time.
Right.
I'm looking at the YouTube broadcast on the chat on my secondary screen, and it is just pristine.
So basically, there's nothing we can do to improve our internet.
Yeah. Number one, I would go get a hardwire cable. I don't know how far you are from your router.
It's only about 20 feet.
You can get a pre-made cable from Lowe's, or I don't know if you have like Fry's or...
We have Lowe's. Okay, we have Lowe's and Best Buy, yeah.
Lowe's, Home Depot, Best Buy, whatever. But we have like Fry's and other places, or you can buy it off the internet. But make sure you get yourself... because it's not that much more expensive, get a Cat 6 cable.
And that is because of the shielding on it?
Yeah, it's going to give you better speed.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Category 6. There's Category 8 that's out there being put in buildings now, and they're looking at Category 10 and 12 now.
What would the benefits of that be?
It's the speed that the cable can handle.
Jesus.
But you can carry gigabit because on all the electronic networks that I've worked on in schools and stuff, everything is 6, and the jumpering across because they bring fiber in. They bring fiber into the schools in these newer schools for communication. But then to the sub network, we'd run fiber from the main hub to the what they call MDF, but those were just not like they were a stand-up closet, because every classroom on a wing, and everyone had what they call an MDF in there, so it's a cabinet, and you'd open up the door, and then the roller door would actually swing open, because there would be anywhere from 24 to 36 data cables per classroom.
What, one for each student to use?
Well, yeah, and this is elementary school.
Holy Christ! Wow.
And then in the corridor in between, so you'd have this corridor, and in the corridor it'd be here. But then they'd have network printers sitting out in the hallway.
Right.
And then there would be cables going down the counter tabletops there, but then everything coming back here, and then from that hub to the main backbone, that was fiber optics transmitting to there.
So, does the school district give the kids computers, or do they all have to buy their own?
It depends. Some of them, some of the schools have given computers out, but most of the kids have it.
Wow, I can't see them taking care of them to that point when they're given to them by the school. I don't know.
Did you talk about technology just real quick before we get off? Did you see Mark? You know the he's a trig teacher or
Centroid, yeah, Centroid aerial images.
That notebook that he was given by the student.
Rocket book.
I'm gonna buy one of those. Those are cool as can be.
$26, guys.
You can only renew it 5 times.
Oh, it does have a limit?
Yeah.
It's a notebook that each page has QR codes, and as you write with its special pen, you're essentially writing, and then you QR code it, and it goes up into like Google My Documents or whatever cloud form it uses. It probably has its own app, who knows. And then when you fill the whole notebook, you put a glass of water on top of it, put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and it wipes out the notebook. You start fresh all over again. $26. It's called Rocketbook, and Steve obviously knows more about it than I do.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, I wouldn't watch the video on it that they had there because it shows using it and how to do it. And what you do is you take a photograph of it with your phone. It's on an app.
Okay, right.
So the app on it, so you just shoot the page, and then that app shoots that page to whatever you've designated that QR code to go to. So like I want this one going, say, to Dropbox, or I want this to go to my Microsoft Office cloud location.
Right.
And the big thing about that is once it's shot, then those apps can translate your handwritten into typed text. But especially like with calculus and trig, like he was talking about, you've got, it's not so much well, calculus is more word problems, but when you're looking at the other one, you've got a drawing of a structure of an image. You're getting to keep that image. That's the cool part about it.
I thought that was fantastic when I saw it too.
Yeah, I'm going to order myself one and give it a try.
I'd love to. All right, guys. Mikey, thanks a lot. Tim, thank you. I'm going to have to check out Rubster 760. I'm going to have to check his page out. See what's going on there.
Yeah.
Heck of a conversation.
Yep. We covered the spectrum today.
No kidding. We didn't even mean to.
It was fun though. Thank you.
I learned a lot, and I didn't know that because we were talking the other day on somebody else's chat or hangout, and you were correcting whatever information was there at the time, or helping me. I forget which one. It seems like somebody's always helping me these days, but it's all interesting stuff.
Well, I'm glad I could help out. We're all here to learn. As I say, I opt for ease. I'm lazy at heart, so if I can find a way to make my life more efficient and the work I have to do easier and faster, I'll spend the time to learn it because it's going to be better in the long run.
That's why I got this little thing. Look at the clarity of the pictures on this.
Oh my gosh.
It's called an Elgato Stream Deck.
Oh, you gave me that model number.
Yeah. And it's a 15 key, but these are normal pictures reduced to 72 by 72 pixels, and they just come out clear as day.
Is that wireless or is it cable?
No, it's USB 3.0 into my powered USB 3 hub.
Okay.
And you just sit there and you press each one. See, I go like this, or it'll take its time to get to the internet, or then I go back to you and then change your size and my size, because Nay and I program these. Well, Nate did it. He told me how to do it, and I listened. But yeah, it's a lot of fun and makes life easy. You don't have to remember. You could do it on your numbered keypads, but then you'd have to remember what the numbers were.
Right.
And of course, you can program it for anything you want. It doesn't have to be OBS.
Right.
I picked up that at Best Buy.
Oh, really cool.
I like Best Buy because if you buy enough from them, there's a 45-day return period.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah, if you're a member, which takes nothing to sign up to be a member. I forget what they call it, but anyway. Yeah, instead of just that 15-day, normally it's 15 days on electronics.
Right.
All right, let's end it while we're still on good terms.
Yeah. Well, have a good rest of your weekend, everybody.
Thanks a lot, guys.